Done.
In our world lead, the Brits are now pointing fingers, blaming Russia for poisoning a former spy with a nerve agent. But the White House is not calling out Russia yet, at least not by name, even though they are standing by Great Britain. Take a listen to Prime Minister Theresa May.
It is highly likely that Russia was responsible for the act against Sergei and Yulia Skripal. Mr. Speaker, there are therefore only two plausible explanations. Either this was a direct act by the Russian state against our country, or the Russian government lost control of its potentially catastrophically damaging nerve agent.
That spy, Sergei Skripal, and his daughter Yulia are still in critical condition. The police officer who was first to the scene, Nick Bailey, is in serious but stable condition. I want to bring in CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh. Nick, how did Russia respond to this direct accusation by Prime Minister May?
Almost within minutes, frankly, they stepped forward to their foreign ministry and said that the parliament behind me was guilty of a circus show. Very dismissive, as we've heard, frankly, from the start. But Theresa May, startling, I must tell you, in the level of detail she provided and quite how forthright she was in calling Russia out, saying that a military-grade nerve agent called Novichok was to blame. That's something that in the past the Soviets have been accused of creating in the 70s to get around various chemical weapons treaties they created. It's pretty hard to detect, but she went on to basically give them a choice. Either you accept that you've lost control of the most dangerous part of your chemical weapons stockpile and let UN inspectors effectively in to secure that, or you're basically admitting you ordered this, you carried this out. And in the event of the second choice, then on Wednesday the UK will work out what measures it will take, and she said they'd be pretty severe, for what she called the unlawful use of force of the state against the United Kingdom. That's probably a legal term chosen specifically, and that might suggest they're heading towards NATO, Article 5, the collective security part of that alliance, or maybe even the United Nations for further responses. But it was startling, frankly, to see the choice they gave Russia and the detail they're willing to provide about how this attack was carried out, Jake.
And Nick, is there any update on how officials are trying to protect the public from more exposure to this nerve agent?
You know, it's baffling, really. It was Wednesday last week they said they knew what specific nerve agent was used, but it took until yesterday for health authorities to tell people who'd been in the pub or the Italian restaurant where we've seen contamination from this nerve agent, to tell them to launder all of their clothes and clean themselves down with baby wipes. That's left many people deeply perturbed, whether or not the British government fully understood the scale of the risk there, or quite what else has been going on to result in this odd timeline of advice, and the military coming in a full 5 days after the event to clean up some of the items left behind. That's got some concerns. It also certainly has elevated the level of threat that many Britons feel from what's now being considered to be a Russian attack, either by design or by errors of carelessness. So a stark moment really here for Russia's relationship with the West, and the broader question too, why would Moscow, if it was behind this, seek to do something quite so internationally outrageous just days before a presidential election? Are they looking to further isolate themselves, or is some rogue element in the Russian state or enemy of the Kremlin trying to harden Russia's position and create even greater distance with the West at this delicate stage? Jake?
Nick Payton-Walsh, thank you so much.